One sentence. Just 3 words. But those 3 words are now shaking Zimbabwe's political debate. Whoever wins, wins. That is the response President Emerson Mnangagwa is reported to have given after concerns were raised about the controversial Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3, commonly known as CAB 3. For supporters, it was a simple statement about democracy. For critics, it was something much bigger. A sign that Zimbabwe's constitutional battle is no longer just about law, it's about power, it's about succession, and it's about who controls the future. Let's get into it. Zimbabwe's constitutional debate has taken another dramatic turn after reports emerged about a private discussion between President Mnangagwa and retired military officers led by Air Marshal retired Henry Muchena. According to lawyer Thabani Mpofu, General Muchena reportedly raised concerns that Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3 could be used to influence Zimbabwe's future political leadership. In simple terms, the concern was this: could the amendment process be shaping the political playing field in favor of certain individuals or factions? It is a question that has been raised repeatedly by critics of the proposed constitutional changes. And according to reports, when the concern was presented to the president, his response was short and direct. Whoever wins, wins. Now, at first glance, that may sound like a normal statement. After all, in any democracy, elections are supposed to produce winners and losers. The candidate who receives enough support wins, the others do not. Simple. But politics is rarely that simple. And in Zimbabwe's current political climate, those 3 words have sparked intense debate. Why? Because people are interpreting them very differently. Supporters of the government say the statement reflects a basic democratic principle. Their argument is straightforward. The Constitution should not decide who becomes president. The people should. President. Leadership contests should be settled through elections, not through constitutional engineering or political maneuvering. From this perspective, the president's response simply means that the electorate should decide the country's future. Nothing more, nothing less. But critics see something completely different. They argue that the concern raised by General Muchena was not about elections themselves. It was about whether the constitutional process is being used to influence future political outcomes. And according to critics, responding with whoever wins, wins avoids the real issue. Instead of addressing concerns about neutrality, they say the response dismisses them. For opponents of CAB 3, this has reinforced suspicions that the amendment process is tied to broader political calculations. Calculations that go beyond constitutional reform. Calculations that involve succession, power, and the future leadership of Zimbabwe. Now, let's step back for a moment. Why is CAB 3 causing so much controversy? Because constitutional amendments are not ordinary laws. A constitution is supposed to be a national agreement. It belongs to everyone. It defines the rules of the political game. And many people believe those rules should never be changed for the benefit of any individual, political party, or faction. That is why constitutional changes often attract strong emotions. People want to know that the rules are fair, not just today, but for future generations as well. This is where the debate becomes bigger than CAB 3 itself. It becomes a debate about trust. Do citizens trust the process? Do they trust the institutions overseeing it? Do they believe the proposed changes are being made for national interests, or do they believe political interests are driving the process? These questions are now at the center of Zimbabwe's political conversation. What makes this situation even more interesting is the involvement of retired military leaders. Historically, the military has played a significant role in Zimbabwe's political landscape. So when respected former commanders publicly express concerns about constitutional amendments, people naturally pay attention. Their involvement has transformed what might have been a technical legal discussion into a major national debate, and that debate is only growing. Political analysts say CAB3 is rapidly becoming one of the defining political battles of the current era, not because of what has already happened, but because of what could happen next. If the amendment proceeds, supporters will likely celebrate it as a legitimate constitutional reform. If opposition grows, the issue could become a rallying point for broader political resistance. Either way, the stakes are rising. And perhaps the most important question is this: what happens after the debate? Because eventually, Zimbabwe will have to move forward. The country will need clarity. The institutions involved will need legitimacy. And citizens will want confidence that the constitutional process is fair. That may ultimately prove more important than any single amendment. For now, however, the controversy continues. The arguments are becoming louder. The political temperature is rising, and one simple phrase has become the center of a national conversation: whoever wins, wins. For some, it is a statement about democracy. For others, it is a warning sign. The truth may depend on what happens next. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think President Mnangagwa meant when he reportedly said, whoever wins, wins? Was it a defense of democracy, or did it fail to address the concerns being raised about CAB3? Do you believe constitutional amendments should remain completely separate from political succession battles? And what impact do you think this debate will have on Zimbabwe's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Zimbabwe and Africa news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.